We will begin our tutorial on how to add an event to the system so that employees will be able to locate that item on the register for the purpose of purchase. Go under Domains, Reference Data Man.
Once you have entered in the
You will then select My Data.
input the username and password given
Select the link supplier.
to refund the order.
You will add the supplier to the system if the supplier is currently not listed. Click Add, enter in the supplier's name. From the drop-down menu, select the category in which the supplier falls under, for example, charity or decor, an address with zip code,
for example,
our contact person's information, including an email address, cell phone, phone number, a website for the company. There is also room for an additional contact person's information.
Scroll down.
You may then input information such as payment policy, final payment, or cancel policy. You will then click Save to add that supplier to the system.
And then you
will then return to your screen where you will locate that newly added supplier. Under View Supplies,
if the transaction was completed in the iPad,
you can add a supply to that supplier. If the supplier, for example, is meet and greet staff, you can add individual items such as an individual guide for per hour, a guide for 4-hour minimum, meet and greet staff, 4-hour minimum, and much more. You will click Add at the right-hand screen. You'll add the activity, meet and greet staff event, leave the supplier as is, enter information such as the price, the type of markup you would like on that individual activity, a min and max packs if there's a minimum purchase quantity as well as a maximum purchase quantity. If it is a vehicle, select the box, then click Save.
And the status of that.
The suppliers have now been added
Print the voucher
to the supply.
which is found at the right-hand side of the purchase in the system.
You will then click on Event,
Print voucher,
Standard Event.
and open the PDF. And
You will
finally
create a standard
Control P
event
to print.
and tie the newly created
That
supplier and
completes
supplies
our
to that
tutorial
event.
for adding an order to the system.
For example, guide services. If you look at details, you enter in event name, the type or category which we've spoken of before, a city, event location. You can load locations if it's at an airport or local hotel already registered through the system, a minimum and maximum pack, internal notes, which will only be viewed by fellow employees with a special access code. You can click here to edit descriptions, pictures, and videos. Under the Media Manager, you can edit the HTML description, plain text description, as well as browse your files for an image, upload that image, and add it to the media template. Once you have finished populating this section with correct data, click Save Event Activities. Once you have saved event activities, you will be brought to activities of this event. You'll then click Add and add individual supplies or activities to this event by category or by supplier name. Once you have selected the supplier, you will then be able to select an activity from the drop-down menu as it's already been currently loaded in the system by you. You can change the base cost, the markup, unit sell price, minimum amount of quantity, then you will click Save and Proceed, and the item will have been added to the activities of this event. You will then click Save to finish and complete that event in the system. Once the standard event is complete, you will then go to My Domains, Admin. Once you're in the admin domain, you will click Program. You will then add a program if the date is currently not in the system, or you can select a program that is already existing. For example, today's date, tomorrow's date, or the following week's date. You will click on Event under that date. You will then, from the tariff, select your new event as you finished it in the system. You will locate it within that tariff. The table of contents can be found on your right-hand side. You will add it, and then it will be automatically loaded to that program date at the bottom of the screen. Edit that event to ensure that all the information is correct. Field notes if there's special notes needed to be understood by employees before purchase is completed. To change pricing, save. You can return back to the event listing, and now the event has been added to the program date so that employees can use that when making purchases through the register for guests. That completes our tutorial on adding suppliers, supplies, events to a program based upon a date, or to create a special program specifically designed for that new supplier and supply.